I love speaking for Chazaq. Where do you go? You're the DJ when they call you out. It's like the best. We gotta bring this more. I gotta bring this to my house. Coming home, Charlie. All right, let's speak to my wife. Very, very briefly, no one came to hear me. You have the schus tonight to hear Rabbi Brody, Rabbi Arush. I just want to say very, very quickly an idea or two, maybe, that just to talk about what this night's really all about and why it's so critical and important for all of us to be here. You know, in the business world, a lot of money and time goes into what's called mission statements. You can hire a consultant for 6 figures to come up with your company's mission statement. Because if you get the mission statement right, it changes what people know about you as a company and what your employees know about you. If you get it wrong, people don't know who we are. We have a mission statement in Judaism. Maybe the most important thing we say and daven and tell our kids. We have a line that we just consistently say again and again and again. We teach our kids when they're little. It's a line we say all day. It's a line we say with, if God forbid everyone's leaving the world. It's the line they say on the way out. What line is that? Shema Yisrael. 6 words. And if you really analyze the statement, you'd realize that it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's 6 words. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. So the first 2 words make sense. Shema Yisrael, I get it. Second words make sense. Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, is our God. Important for us to know that in Judaism. The last two words make no sense. Because we say Hashem Elokeinu, and we refer to him in the singular, and then we say Hashem Echad. Hashem is one. How many would he be? We're talking about him as one. How many do we think he's going to be in the back end of that statement? 6 words, and God got 2 of them, and it was redundant? Why in the world do we say Hashem Echad? So I want to share with you one story, and then I will turn it over to the people that are greater than me. So a couple years ago, I ran a trip to Israel. We took about 200 men from all over the world for the first time to Israel. Most of them were unaffiliated. And we go everywhere, Baruch Hashem. Imagine 200 guys from all over the world. It's like camp for adult men, which is so much greater than one would even think. Guys get off and it's a different time zone and no one's near them. And we go north and Tveria and Tzfat and south and Sada. Guys are having bar mitzvahs and it's Baruch Hashem. It's the second day of the trip. One of the guys from that's brand new comes to me in dinner with tears in his eyes. He says, do you have a minute I want to talk to you? I don't understand something. I said, yeah, sure. He said, I'm from whatever part of the country. He goes, and I am totally not connected to Judaism. In fact, I'm only on this trip because my wife made me go because it was uncomfortable in the house because I was totally not bought into anything. And I begrudgingly got on the airplane and I landed in Israel. And something happened when I landed. Like it just felt familiar, you know? I've never been here before. When I land in New York or Washington, it doesn't feel familiar. I landed in Ben Gurion. I don't know. I walked outside and it just felt like I had been here before. And we went to this army base. We saw all these soldiers. And I never met a soldier before. All I know about the Israeli army is CNN. And it was totally different. Shocker. And I met these kids and like, I don't know, I felt like they were like my kids. And I'm proud of them. And I want to, and I don't know what this whole feeling is. I feel like this is like my country. So I couldn't sleep. So I took a walk in Tveria. We have first nights in Tveria. And I'm walking and I look up to the sky and I say, I don't know if there's anyone up there. But if there is, can you just tell me that you're there? Don't split a seat. Don't like win a war in 6 days. That's a lot. I'm not worth that. But can you just give me like a drop? A drop. So that I know you're there. The next morning we went to Tzfat. And in Tzfat we go to the Arizal's mikveh. And I tell the guys, listen, it's a big deal. I don't tell them how cold it's going to be, but that's for later. It's a big deal. And a mikvah is water comes from before time. You can renew yourself. If you have something that you're holding on to that's really been blocking you in life, you get a chance to hit the reset button in the mikvah of the Arizal. So he waits online. He says, I went in. And on the way in, I had one thought. I had totally messed up my relationship with my son. My oldest son and I just don't see eye to eye. And as I'm in Israel, it's hitting me that I'm just not a great father. And it's my fault. And I should be better. And he's already a high school kid. So it's so much harder to ever go back. And all I'm thinking is, if I can reset one thing, I want to reset my relationship with my son. But he's on birthright. And I know they're in Israel, but they're in the south. And he's too busy with his friends. But that's what I want. And I went into the Arizal's mikvah and got out very, very quickly. And I went on back with my day. And we went looking for lunch. And Sfat's got a lot of roads. And the group went left and we went right. And me and 3 of my friends were basically lost in Sfat. And we were like in this alley and that alley. And you know what it's like when you get lost in Israel? It's like everything is Yashar. You'll find it. If not, you'll get Gaza and then we'll find out eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be fun. It's funny, by the way. I became an Israeli. This summer I was in Israel with my family. And on Friday night, I kid you not, I was walking back from we ate in the Old City, and I saw in the Old City Friday night Mariano Rivera. Those who don't know, he's a pitcher for the Yankees. I saw him in the Old City, I'm telling you. I went over to him like, Mariano, like, it's so lush to see you, like, it's amazing. It's an honor, can I touch you? So he's saying to me, like, can I ask you for help? I'm like, yeah, whatever. Anything, you want one of my children? Like, what do you need? So he said, where's the wall? Now, my American brain's thinking, take Mariano Rivera to the hotel. But I'm in Israel, I'm like, just keep on going straight. If you don't hit it, you're lost. We'll find out about you in the news. So he's like, damn, just telling me, Yashar, I'm lost. He goes, and I'm sitting in an alleyway, I don't know where I'm going, and all of a sudden I see a group of teenagers. I'm like, these teenagers look very familiar. And I get closer and closer and closer and closer, and in those teenagers is my son. And I woke up and I'm like, son? He's like, Dad? I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, well, we're supposed to go down south, but there's some terrorist thing going on, and Brother got scared, so they took us up north. And we're supposed to go to Tveria, but that didn't work out, so then they took us in Sfat. We have to wait, so they got us, basically said, you have an hour in Sfat, do whatever you want. And we got lost. Because I'm sitting in a street corner in an alleyway in Sfat, and I'm face to face with my son, who I just davened for before the mikvah. And I gave him a hug and I said, I just want to tell you, I'm so sorry I'm not a better father. He said, Dad, you're the best. Let's start when we get back. I said, let me tell you something about God. What does it mean? And I'll turn it over now. I think my time has run out. What does it mean? Hashem Echad. It does not mean that God is one. We know that God is one. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad means, everybody listen, Hashem is telling us, I am the God that runs this world. I am the God that runs the world. I'm the one. I'm on top of everything. I built the Grand Canyon, and I'm very chashiv, and everybody knows me, and I'm Elokeinu. But that same God that's Elokeinu is Echad. It's not one, it's unity. I am everything. I am in everything. Hashem's not up. I don't know when we took God and put him up. What we daven up, we think like Gan Eden is like we go up. You ever think like what happens after 120? Like we take like some like we think that when we die, like we go up somewhere and like we go to some place that's like, I don't know, like light, and I'm sure because it's Jewish there'll be food and like there's gotta be a pool, right? Like, and we think that Gan Eden is like basically a Pesach program for life. and just, you know, a Pesach program with bread. You know what I'm talking about? It'll be a Sephardi Pesach program. That's what we think it is. Because God somehow got put up. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu takes us every day. You know what he says to us? Stop putting me up. You know where I am? I'm in. I'm in you. I'm in the streets. I'm in your family. I'm in your marriages. I am in every shadow and every shade of this world. And if you go through your whole life and think that Judaism is showing up in shul and that's it, and you book out a shul and God's not there, and when you daven up, if you can do like a big miracle, you see Hashem, and you miss me in every nuance of your life, you're going through a religion and you're totally missing the point. I'm in Tzfat, I'm controlling the buses, I am in every nuance of your life. And when you go through life and you don't look for HaKadosh Baruch Hu in every little thing, you're missing the whole point. Our job in life is to see Echad, is to see that everything that's going on in my life, the good and the bad, the up and the down, is just Hashem saying, no, come look for me. Come look for me. Because I'm your dad. And the one thing that every parent wants more than anything in the world is just to hang out with their children. Especially when they're little. Different story when they're older, I'm just kidding. And as my bracha to all of us tonight, we're in this room for the following reason, because we want to find Hashem at the next level where we are. We're in this world at the end of times, because what we know and realize is that we got to go back to the basics. We got to go back to our course. Our children need to go back to the basics. That Hashem loves us, and He's everywhere. And if my friend that knows nothing could at least have the humility to look up and say, Hashem, please, show me a sign. Each and every one of us should walk our days and put on the glasses of not just Hashem Elokeinu, but Hashem Echad. And look and search and find the greatest world, which is a world filled with a smiling, loving Father, Hashem.